This wasn't an accident. Someone decided which parts of her were allowed to exist. Shadowheart's memories were erased for a reason. Shadowheart wakes up knowing how to breathe, fight, and pray, but not how she became who she is. Her past isn't gone. It's been removed. She remembers symbols, rituals, obedience. She remembers her goddess. But everything before that is a blur of locked doors and severed threads. This isn't natural amnesia. It's deliberate. Her mind feels curated, like only the parts useful to someone else were allowed to remain. And that's the first warning sign. If her past truly didn't matter, no one would have worked so hard to erase it. Shar doesn't rule darkness alone. She rules loss, silence, the numbness that follows pain. To her followers, forgetting is framed as mercy. Why suffer when the past can simply disappear? Why grieve when memory itself can be cut away? But Shar's mercy has a price. When memories vanish, so does identity. When identity fades, devotion becomes easier to shape. Shadowheart's emptiness isn't a flaw in Shar's design. It is the design. For Shar, forgetting isn't kindness. It's ownership. Sharon devotion is not built on trust. It's built on control. First, the self is broken down, isolated from old ties, old values, old names. Then it's rebuilt around obedience and purpose. Doubt isn't debated, it's erased. If questions arise, rituals follow. Confession doesn't absolve, it rewrites. And if something human remains beneath the training, Shar offers the same solution she always does. Less memory, less self, less resistance. Shadowheart's guarded nature isn't personality alone. It's survival. Faith asks for belief. Shar demands erasure. This raises the real question. Why erase her past so completely? Because Shadowheart wasn't just another acolyte. Whatever she was before posed a risk. Not inconvenience, danger. Something in her past contradicted Shar's claim over her soul. Something that could undo the indoctrination if remembered. So Shar didn't simply recruit her. She neutralized her by removing the person she used to be. She wasn't erased because she was weak. She was erased because she was dangerous. The artifact Shadowheart carries isn't just an objective. It's her justification. As long as the mission exists, the emptiness makes sense. The missing years feel purposeful. Without it, she'd be forced to face what she's lost. This is how control persists. Give someone a purpose heavy enough that they never look down at the chains. If she fails, she has no past to return to. If she succeeds, she proves the erasure was worth it. Either way, Shar wins. As long as the mission exists, she doesn't have to ask who she was, and Shar needs it that way. Then there's the pain, sharp, punishing, divine. A reminder triggered by doubt or disobedience. Pain isn't guidance, it's conditioning. Question, Shar, and suffer. Show compassion where none is prescribed and suffer. Over time, the lesson becomes clear. Don't think, don't feel, don't remember. But pain has consequences. Shar cannot fully control. It breeds resentment, curiosity, the dangerous thought that follows. If my goddess loves me, why does she hurt me for being human? Pain keeps her loyal, but it also teaches her to question why. Despite everything, Shadowheart keeps doing the wrong thing. She cares, quietly, reluctantly, sometimes angrily. Kindness slips through before she can stop it. This shouldn't happen. If the erasure were perfect, there would be nothing left to care with. But instincts remain when memories are gone. Values leak through the cracks. Something inside her remembers what she no longer can, and that something refuses to stay buried. If nothing remained of her past, then who keeps reaching for the light? Shar has a sister, Selûne. Where Shar offers forgetting, Selûne offers remembrance, guidance, the belief that what is lost can be found again. If Shadowheart once belonged to moonlight, then the erasure makes perfect sense, because a soul shaped by hope is dangerous to the night. Even stripped of memory, the pull remains. Moonlight doesn't erase darkness, it reveals shapes within it. Some loyalties are deeper than thought. Some truths survive, even when names are taken away. Even buried in darkness, the moon still pulls the tide, and Shadowheart can feel it. Shadowheart isn't just a follower, she's a battleground. Shar couldn't destroy what she once was, not completely, so she buried it, turned a person into proof, a stolen soul meant to demonstrate Shar's dominance. The erasure is not only about obedience, it's about humiliation. But buried things don't stay silent forever. They press upward, they demand air, and when they resurface, gods lose control. Shar didn't just steal a follower, she stole someone else's chosen. The greatest threat to Shar isn't rebellion, it's remembrance. Because memory brings responsibility, choice, the ability to decide who you are, again. Shadowheart's memories were erased for one reason above all others. Because if she remembers, Shar loses her. Not to protect Shadowheart from pain, but to protect Shar from the woman Shadowheart becomes when she finally remembers who she was. The moment she remembers, the night loses her forever. Shadowheart's memories were erased by a god. But there is an empire that doesn't erase minds. It rewrites them,